It's a game called Cash and Guns. Cash and Guns, you are robbers who have just committed a heist, and now it's time to split up the loot when all of a sudden one of you pulls a gun. Everybody's aiming their gun at each other. You got a bit of a standoff on your hands, and you got to decide, do you think the gun that's pointed at you has got a real bullet in it, or just a blank and they're trying to scare you? Ultimately, over the course of the game, you're going to be accumulating money. Whoever's got the most money at the end of the game wins. Every player is going to get a foam gun, and everyone is going to get 5 cards that say click and 3 cards that say bang. So these 5 that say click, those are blanks you can load into your gun. The ones that say bang, those are bullets you can load into your gun. Each round, somebody is going to be the Godfather, and they're going to have this fancy Godfather chest in front of them. So each turn, what's going to happen is going to be spelled out on this card right here. There's 7 steps to each turn. First one is loot. So what we're going to do, we have a deck full of loot cards. We're going to deal 8 cards face up in the middle of the table. And then we're also going to put this Godfather's chest right here in the middle of the table. Each player is going to be represented by one of these ethnically offensive stereotypes. They'll have those cards in front of them like that. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay out those 8 loot cards as well as the Godfather's desk. Next thing that's going to happen is the choice of the bullet card. So you're going to choose whether you want to load your gun with a blank or real bullet. You're going to put whatever you're going to load it with face down. And whenever you play it, that's going to be removed from the game. So as you use your bullets, once you've used them all up, now you're only going to have blanks left. Third thing that's going to happen is the hold up. So everyone's got their guns. Whoever's the Godfather, and the Godfather for the first turn, it's supposed to be just whoever's the oldest player. Whoever's the Godfather is going to say 1, 2, 3, and on 3, everyone's going to point their gun at somebody at the table. And the key is you got to do it on 3. You can't wait until everyone else has already pointed their gun, and then based on what's out there, decide who you want to point it at. According to the game, if that happens, then you would actually lose your turn. So everyone points your gun. Then the Godfather has what's called Godfather's Privilege. That's number 4. Godfather's Privilege is the Godfather gets to say to one player of their choice, you now have to point your gun at somebody different. So whoever they had it pointed at, it has to be somebody different. The Godfather doesn't get to say who it gets pointed at, and it could even be that the person moves from whoever they were pointing it at to the Godfather themselves. So you kind of want to be careful about that if you're the Godfather. Step 5 is courage. So now you've got a gun, possibly multiple guns, that are pointed at you. You have a choice. Do you want to stay in, hope that those guns aren't loaded with real bullets, or do you want to get, but run the risk of getting shots, or do you want to get out of there so that you don't get shot? So if you would decide you want to lay down your gun, you can. Anyone who has a gun pointed at you, they're going to discard their bullet card face down, so we'll never know whether they had a blank or a real bullet in there. And then you don't get to partake when we get to splitting up the loot. If you do stay in there, then what's going to happen in a bit is we're going to reveal whether or not there are bullets in there. You could potentially get shot, or it could be that there's a blank and you're going to be fine. If you decide to stay in, you're supposed to say the word bonsai, which means you're staying in. And then we're going to go on to 6, which is the card effects. Everyone's going to reveal their bullets or their blanks. If all the guns pointed at you are blanks, or no guns are pointed at you, then you're good. But if any of them have a bullet in them, you're going to take wounds, which are, of course, represented by these Band-Aids. If you have 2 guns that are pointed at you, they both have bullets in them, you're going to take 2 wounds. If you get a wound, you also don't get to partake in the loot when you're splitting it up because you've been shot. But now you also have these wounds, and if you ever get to 3 wounds, you die and you're out of the game. So we're going to resolve the card effects, and then we're going to do the loot sharing. One other thing I'll point out about the card effects is that it is possible that you could have a bullet in your gun and somebody else's bullet in their gun. You both shoot and kill each other simultaneously. It's not that one gets resolved and then the other. They both happen at the same time. Final thing that's going to happen is the loot sharing. So this is where you go around and everyone takes the loot. So whoever's the Godfather, they get to take money first. There's 8 cards out there. There's also the Godfather's desk. So if you want, you can turn over this card. That means you're going to be the Godfather next turn. And that counts as the item of loot that you took. Or you can take any one card from the middle of this pile. We're going to go around and everybody else has that choice. It's going to circle back and you're going to keep on going until all the money is gone and the Godfather's desk has been claimed. There's some different things you can take. You can take cold hard cash. At the end of the game, this is just going to be worth as much as it says on the card. Straightforward. This will be worth 5,000. This will be worth 10,000. You can take paintings. Paintings are worth more money the more paintings you have. So at the end of the game, if you just have one painting, you're going to get $4,000 for your paintings. If you have two paintings, then you're going to get $12,000. Three paintings, $30,000, etc. Key thing about this is if you have three paintings, you get $30,000. That means you get $30,000 total, not $30,000 per painting. Finally, you can take diamonds. Diamonds are like cash. They're worth however much money it says on the card. So this one's worth $5,000. But at the end of the game, whoever has the most diamond cards is going to get this diamond bonus, which is worth another $60,000. Key thing about the diamond cards, it is whoever has the most diamond cards, not the most diamond money. So if one player has two diamond cards that are worth $2,000, one player has one diamond card that's worth $5,000, these two diamond cards are more diamond cards. This person would get the $60,000 bonus. If there is a tie, then nobody gets this diamond bonus. Those are things you can take that are worth money, but there are a couple other types of cards that could be out there. This one heals 2 wounds. If you take this card, you use it immediately. So if you only have 1 or 0 wounds, then you heal that 1 wound and it's gone from the game. This one allows you to take an extra bullet and add it to your hand from the discard pile. Or so if you use it and there are no bullets in the discard pile, you don't get any. You only get that bullet if there's one in the discard pile already. And then, like I said, if you take the Godfather's chest, you flip this over, and that means you're going to be the Godfather on the next turn. There's 8 cards that are out there. We'll play, they'll all be gone. We'll deal out another set of 8 cards. We'll do the next round. At some point, we're going to have our final set of 8 cards. People are going to take those cards. We're going to count up the money. Whoever has the most money is your winner. One final thing I'll say is only people who are alive can actually win the game. So if you've got 3 wounds and you're dead, even if you have the most money, you unfortunately do not win the game because you're dead. And so it's basically the person with the most money who is also still alive at the end of the game. That's your winner. If there's a tie, whoever has the most wounds, counterintuitively, that's actually going to be the winner. So I guess you're being rewarded for making it to the end of the game, just barely clinging to your life. And if that is also a tie, then the game just ends in a tie. That's how you play Cash and Guns.